Listen, I've got some advice to give you. Whether you want it or not, I feel inclined to tell you a few things about life. There are some questions that have been asked, some that have not, and the best thing about today is that they're gonna all be answered.
Knows how to dress for special occasions. She got me thinking life could be better.
Alright, little birdie told me that you guys are needing some advice from a big sister. I am a big sister. I even have a big sister. I have a few big sisters. I feel super qualified to answer these questions for you and give you the advice that I have lived through and that I have seen. Okay? If you don't want my advice, I'll see you in another video. But a decent amount of younger viewers, to be honest with you. If you guys need some advice, always feel free to come to me. I'm not gonna judge you in any way, but I am here to be the big sister you've always needed. We're gonna start with some period questions. Someone said, I'm about to get my first period and I do high intensity workouts 4 to 6 times a week and I don't know how to handle both. Working out on your period, in my experience, I really enjoy it. Even high intensity ones. It just feels good to like let my body do its thing, you know? I understand sometimes periods can be a little bit debilitating. It's not universal for everybody. Everybody's period is so different from another that I don't exactly know what your periods are like, but from my experience, I really enjoy doing high intensity workouts while I'm on my period. I may not always want to, but I know that when I work out on my period, I'm gonna feel better afterwards because it helps with, for me, it helps with cramping, it helps with feeling kind of gross and kind of nasty, and it helps me not feel all the gross things that your period can make you feel like. Working out is a mental health thing as well, and when I'm on my period, I can sometimes be a little bit hard on myself, harder than normal. I'm gonna be really down, but when I go for a run or do a HIIT workout, though, not to knock resting while you're also on your period, because that's super important too. Your body is going through a lot, and having the ability to know when, okay, I feel like I need to work out and that's what's gonna make me feel better, versus, hey, I actually don't think a workout's gonna do the job today, and that takes some figuring out. But just listen to your body. Your body knows what's best for you. Advice on periods and how to sleep when I'm on my period. Also, can you swim while you're on your period? A two-parter. Sleeping while you're on your period is hard. For me, I sleep really well on my period. I sleep really well most of the time because I'm really active throughout the day. But when I'm on my period, and I don't get cramps very often, but when I do, they're usually during the day and not at night. And if they are at night, it's way before I go to bed. And I sleep on my stomach. So I personally don't have any issues with sleeping itself. Now, the issue of pad, tampon, or free bleeding, I will let you know right now that at night, what it is. If I have to change the sheets the next day, that's what I do. I'm not wearing an uncomfortable pad, and I'm not wearing a tampon at night because that's dangerous. Don't do that. I would rather just change the sheets and throw my sheets and my clothes in the washer as soon as I wake up, personally. But not a personal thing. Do not wear tampons to bed. It is not safe. I don't care what any of your friends tell you. You should not be wearing a tampon to bed. It's not good for you. You are not supposed to wear a tampon for any longer than 8 hours. Even like 4 or 5 hours is kind of pushing it. Having that knowledge and knowing that you're supposed to get like 8 to 9 hours of sleep as a woman. I do want to mention that with all of the information about tampons and pads that are coming out about finding lead and other harmful toxic materials and substances that are going into tampons and pads, I feel like there are some tampons and products out there that would work well. If you don't have an IUD, I've heard the Diva Cups are great, but I do know that sometimes they can cause issues if you do have an IUD, so just be smart and be safe, and it's hard to be a woman these days. I love you. But in my opinion, do whatever's most comfortable for you. Not wearing anything when I sleep is what's most comfortable for me. And for the swimming portion of that question, yes, I do swim while I'm on my period. I put a new tampon in before I go get into the pool, and then as soon as I've done at the pool, I take it out. Or if I'm at the pool all day, when I need to go to the bathroom, I just change it. As I would, like, if I wasn't going to be at the pool all day. Swim as normal. I say if you're going to go swimming on your period, a tampon is necessary because a pad kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah, no, tampon only. I do believe this is the last period question, but someone said I just need general advice because my flow is so heavy. My advice for that is make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're moving your body around a little bit. I know personally when I'm drinking a lot of water on my period and I'm still being a little bit active, even on my heavier days, because my period is rather light. I have it's like usually 3 to 4 days. I usually don't have any cramps, and I am on the lighter side of bleeding. But if your flow is heavier and you do last a little bit longer, 5 to 7 day range, I highly suggest, and this is what works for me, is drinking lots of water and moving your body helps flush it all out quicker. At least that's what my brain has convinced me. And just making sure you're comfortable. That's the best part about being on your period, because being on your period sucks. And you take that time, that week or those couple of days to prioritize you and your comfort and whatever you want to do. So freeing to just, I'm on my period, so I'm gonna do what makes me happy. If you want to wear makeup, go for it. If you just want to do skincare all day, go for it. If you want to throw your hair up in a bun and lay in bed on a heating pad, go for it. Oh my gosh, I don't use heating pads because, like I said, I don't get cramps very bad. I do know people who have had really bad periods and have stayed home from school because of it was so bad. And to that, I say I think their tips were heating pad on the stomach. They honestly, chocolate, it sounds crazy, and I don't even like chocolate, but when I'm on my period or I'm about to start, I love just like a little bit, like a fudge bar or something, like a fudge sickle or whatever. And then again, staying hydrated, and then just resting. Some people like to be active on their period because it helps them, and some people like to rest on their period because it helps them. So really just, as you get older and you figure out what your body likes, don't be afraid to try new things. Also, don't be hard on yourself if the thing that you tried just doesn't work for you, because that's just not for you, and that's okay. Also, talk to your doctor if there are things that are like you feel like aren't normal, because now is the time to figure it out. Whether you've had your period for 5 years or you're just getting it, if something seems off, bring it up to a trusted adult or a doctor, specifically a doctor. But if the first signs are coming up and you're just like not sure what to do, bring it to a trusted adult, preferably a woman, and then go from there. Matter of fact, if anything in your body just feels not normal, and or at some point you come to a consensus that how you feel is not normal, always bring it up to a trusted individual and a trusted doctor, because not every doctor is for women's health. That is the first thing you need to learn about being a woman, is that not every doctor cares about women. Not every doctor is going to do what's best for your body, especially a male doctor, and there's a lot of female doctors out there that do the same thing, but there are a lot of doctors out there who are not going to put your best interest at heart. They're going to put you on some medication, and I'm not saying medication is not the answer, but what I am saying is get a second opinion, get a follow-up, have options and choices open, where you're not just hearing one opinion about this one thing, and they're saying one thing, but to you it's not connecting, and it doesn't sound like the answer that is the right one. You know what I mean? All of my ailments will not be solved just because I lose weight. My anxiety isn't going to go away just because I lose 30 pounds. Hey boo, it's Bebee. Here we talk about my dance journey, Taylor Swift, amongst other music. and a bunch of my lifestyle stuff that I've got going on. Why don't you go ahead and hit subscribe, and then you could be a part of my YouTube fam, which I call my besties. So you can be a bestie from the start if you subscribe now. Love ya. Bye. Let's move on to the next segment, friendship. Now, in the 26 years that I have been alive, I have had different friend groups, different friends, some that I've kept throughout the years, some that I've had for a short amount of time. I've had lots of friendships, and the one thing that I can say is there are some people that are worth holding on to, and there are some people that aren't. And there are some people that you're gonna always be rooting for, even if they're never in your life ever again. But you're gonna see them or hear about them in some form or fashion, whether it be social media, word of mouth, from other people. There are gonna be situations, friends that you used to have that you no longer talk to, that you really wish you could reach out to, but every time you try to, they ignore you. And to be honest with you, that has nothing to do with you, and it could have everything to do, I mean, it could have something to do with you, but the chances of it just having something to do with them growing out of the relationship and the friendship is more probable. And that's okay. People grow up and grow apart. Not everybody's meant to stay friends forever. Except the people that you know are meant to be in your life forever. And I have a few people like that, and I met them, most of them I met in or after college, and I'm super grateful for those people. I will say, as a teenager, it feels like the friends that you have right now are going to be your friends forever, and I can tell you right now that that's probably not true. I am still really close with my high school best friend. We talk all the time. We have a Snapchat streak, and I love her dearly. The things that we went through together at that time. We don't see each other all the time. You know, we both have grown up lives outside of what we knew from each other about each other in high school. Grown up, we've grown apart, we've come back together, been super close for a really long time, and she will always be my girl, and I love her dearly. Always and forever, I will ride for her. But it's not the same as when we were a teenager, and that's okay. Friendships are going to change like that. And then there are some people who I met 2 or 3 years ago that I have a connection with that I never thought that I could have. I never thought that I could have a connection in a friend like that before. And she makes me really feel like adult friendships are the best kind of friendships. If you don't stay friends with the people you're currently friends with right now in high school, in college, middle school, wherever you are in life, it's okay. Alicia Marie said this one time, and it is forever stuck in my brain. There are people that you and I have yet to love in this world. Crazy, because her exact words are, you have not met all the people you're gonna love in your life yet at this point. And oh god, that makes me feel so much better about, like, I have a few friends, and that's really all I need and all I care about. I don't care about making, like, new friends right now. I have the friends that I need and want, and I'm okay with that. Adult friendships are where it's at, and when you find really good ones, you'll know. They feel different, and they feel genuine and true, and there's nothing better than feeling like good people around you that you know you love them and they know that, and then you know that they love you and they know that. It's so wonderful. And then there are also friendships who it's unspoken. It's the friendships that you have in adulthood that you found in college or found right after high school that changed you as a person, and that you, no matter how you grow or what you do or who you grow up to be later in life, you know that person's going to be with you forever. It's a very calm friendship, except when you two are together. Calm is not the situation or the word that I would use to describe it. The word that I would use to describe me and my best friend are feral, rat-like, rot. You will have people in your life who they don't have to remind you, and you don't have to remind them how important you are. Also, I think you can have best friends. You can absolutely have different best friends for different things. 100%. It's a lie and it's BS that you can only have one super best friend. Now, my best friend is going to come for me as soon as I post this and be like, But even though she's saying that, she still has other people in her life that she has. Does she? Scratch that. There are people in your life that are going to come into your life and you're just going to be like, you've been here all along in here. And then on the flip side, there'll be people who come into your life and you're like, oh my god, we click instantly, besties, and then they stab you in the heart and in the back at the same time. They fucking rotisserie chicken your ass, and then they screw you over. And then you think you're friends with them, but then they call you a bitch behind your back to anybody who will listen, even though you're the one. Anyway, those people aren't real, and they're gonna come and go in your life really quick. People who don't actually love you and don't actually care about you are not gonna stick around. And my favorite quote of all time for any purpose is, it's none of your business what other people think about you. As long as you're living life a good person, who cares what other people's opinions are of you? The only opinions you should care about are your really close circles, really good friends, your partner, and then your family. And sometimes your family's opinion doesn't even matter. The opinions that matter the most are the people you care about and equally care about you in return. Some friendships come and go, some friendships are forever. You will figure it out along the way. Do not stress about not having friends. The people that are meant to find you will. I swear, actually. I pinky swear. Someone said they need some advice about boys, and my opinion and advice that I have to give you on boys is don't. Ew. Boys suck. Boys are gross. Just don't. Listen, in high school and in middle school, maybe, you might want to start talking to boys and hanging out with them and, make date or whatever. And if you don't, that's fine too. But if you are interested in guys or girls, whatever the hell, I don't care, whatever you're into, if you start hanging out with other people, opposite sex or same, as a potential love interest, let me just say, that's when life starts getting complicated, especially as a teenager. I truthfully got so lucky because I found my partner, hopefully for the rest of my life, in high school. And I'm not saying everybody will, and I'm definitely not recommending that everybody does. We spent time apart. We were dating, but we were long distance, and so we spent about 4 years together but apart from each other. And that was enough time for him to do whatever growing he needed to do while still in a relationship, still loyal, but he did whatever growing he needed to do outside of that, and I did whatever I needed to do, and I'm still continuing to do that, and I think he's still continuing to do that. The consensus, though, that we had in our relationship was that we want to do this together. We want to be individuals, but we also know we want to marry each other one day and be by each other's side through life as we continue to grow as individuals, just next to each other. But let's dial it back a little bit and talk just not so much full marriage and relationships. Let's talk just a little bit about dating and being in high school and stuff like that. Nothing is as serious in high school as it seems. You are gonna forget most of the boys you date. You're gonna forget most of the guys you've ever talked to. You're gonna forget about a lot of the dumb stuff that happens. So just and again, teenage emotions are through the roof. Everything seems so much more detrimental than it actually is in real life. And it's really hard when adults who see it for what it is, don't explain that. You're fine, oh, stop being a drama queen. Like, you're not being a drama queen, that's how you feel. It is that deep to you, but in hindsight, as you get older, you realize it really wasn't. The advice I can give to you about boys being in high school is, when you are deep in a situation, like deep into a situation, my advice to you is try and take a step back and look at it from somebody else's perspective. Don't necessarily ask for somebody else's perspective, because you might not get the answer you need to hear, and you might not get the answer you want to hear. But I urge you to take a step back and look at it from above, just super neutral. I understand it's easier said than done. Being a teenager is freaking rough, all right? Would I ever go back and do it? Nope, not for the amount of money in the world. Hell, you couldn't pay me enough money to be 22 again, let alone 16. Don't let anybody tell you that being a teenager is not rough, because it is. I'm 26. I'm well far out from being a teenager. Just know that I know, and I'll always know, that being a teenager was ridiculously hard. And everything seems so dramatic and so emotional. But just do what you can to self-assess the things that are happening and realize, is it going to matter in 5 years? Also, just because I found my person in my high school sweetheart doesn't mean you will. And if you think that you're going to marry the guy that you're with, I urge you to spend some time apart. You can stay together, you can stay in a relationship, but use college or traveling or just go live in a different city than them for, if you can. I understand all three of those things are highly privileged things that I just said. Do some soul searching of your own for yourself outside of that relationship. Again, me and my husband stayed together, but we grew as individual people. Don't get married right out of high school, because you never know what's going to happen. So you might end up together and you might spend the rest of your life together, but you also might not. We waited until we were 23 to get married, and that's still young. Don't get me wrong. Part of me wishes I would have waited till about right now. It's a hard one to explain. I just feel like right now would have been like the perfect time. But we'd already been together for 6 years, and it is what it is. And again, had we not gotten married yet, I think we still would have been together 100%. So I think things would have turned out the same. I'll be 27 in a couple of months, and that is a scary thought on its own. I really feel like at 23 I didn't know who I was. I didn't know really what I wanted in life. I did know that I wanted my husband, and that was the only for sure thing that I knew then, and it is still absolutely for sure thing that I know now. My point is, not every boy is going to be your Prince Charming. It may feel like the impending doom of 25 and 30. It can feel overwhelming. 30 can feel like not a real age until you get closer. Your life isn't over at 18 and 20. You don't need to have the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with and be married by 22. You don't need to have anything figured out by 25. There is no one that's going to come get you, and no one's going to hurt you. No one's going to put you in jail if you don't achieve something by 25. Really didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life until I was like 26. It wasn't until I was almost 26 that I was like, no, actually, this is what I want to do. And I was sure about it. That's the thing. I've kind of always known I wanted to be a performer and I wanted to be a dancer, but I wasn't ever sure about it until last year. I thought I wanted to do this, and I thought I wanted to do that, but I didn't really know until almost a year ago. And I'm just talking about my career. Knows about what you want and need in a relationship. And I will finish this video off with some advice on how to be confident in your own skin, being confident in yourself. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And that is the most true, if you take nothing else from this video, please let it be that. If you want something and your fear of looking stupid is getting in the way, you're never gonna get it. You cannot have a fear of looking stupid and achieve anything in life. The quicker you can learn to be comfortable in who you are and what you bring to the table, the better. It is important to know who you are to be able to be comfortable and confident in who you are. And don't get me wrong, there are some days where I am just it's not happening for me. There are some days when I'm not confident. But, and another phrase that I really like is fake it till you make it. You can fake confidence. You really can. I like to think that I am not faking my confidence, that I really am a confident person. For the most part, I am. And there are some times where I do still have to fake it because I haven't quite made it. Confidence is incredible because no one really knows if it's real or not. Like, I have a lot of confidence as a content creator. Girl, this is what I do. But as a dancer, yes and no. Like, I can get on the stage and I'm like, I'm gonna have all the confidence in the world because as long as I'm feeling myself, who cares, you know, and I know that I know what I'm doing, so I look good. It's really just how you think about yourself in the long run and how you portray your own abilities and how quickly and how efficiently and effectively you get rid of imposter syndrome. The key to being comfortable and confident in your own skin is really finding out that and diving deep into self-discovery, having conversations with yourself, having conversations with a therapist, having conversations with other people, literally talking about things, having hard conversations, or how you find things out about yourself, how you discover what you want in life and who you are. Have conversations with as many people that are not like you, and that is how you're going to find out who you are and what you want. With that, I leave you. Stay confident, stay sexy, stay stunning. I love you. If you haven't yet, subscribe, become a part of the Bestie Squad. I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Bye, baby.
I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Whatever caught my eye, whatever crossed that line. I'm telling you now, it's whatever. Mixed signals can't understand